time of the hour news. Barbara Comstock coming up. This is the John Fredericks Show.
What?
Good morning, everybody. Several CSX tanker cars carrying crude oil derailed in the downtown area of Lynchburg yesterday.
Hello, this is Colleen Leary. I'm ready.
Almost 1 year ago to the day of this poll back in 2013. And think about, and his numbers in that year have gotten worse, not better. He's become more prominent particularly over the last 2 or 3 months. There's been, he's been more public. He's gotten more attention. And if you look at these numbers, you have to be concerned if you're Jeb Bush, because as you've gotten more attention, your numbers have gotten worse, not better. As you become more public, your numbers have gotten worse, not better. And then when you look inside just the Republican side of his numbers, he's okay among establishments, pretty much a 2-to-1 favorable rating among established non-Tea Party Republicans. But among Tea Party Republicans, he starts with a net negative.
Jeb, of course, is best known as the brother of Marvin Bush. Apparently, the rest of the family also did some work back in Washington. Back in the day.
Welcome back to the John Fredericks Show. Common sense for the Commonwealth. This is the place to be. 840, booming our way through Washington, D.C. and Virginia. Hey, we're the adults in the room. That's why you're with us. We have the most influential audience in Virginia. That's why you're tuned in to us right now, right? Obviously. Great to have you with us, as always. May 1st, April, gone, in the books, already made, just trying to figure out when are we going to get some summer weather. So much for global warming in Virginia. Well, Virginia didn't get the memo on that. I'll tell you that. It's been nasty out, still raining out there. Here we are in Southeast Virginia. Looking forward to a good weekend coming up, though, as my son, let's see, we got something coming up this weekend. He's got a baseball tournament on Sunday somewhere. My son JoJo plays with the Bombers. That's Bobby Heft's team, Coach Heft, here in Virginia Beach, and he's their closer. So, he's a southpaw, and he's getting that ball. He's getting that ball pretty up there. They can't hit him really. So we'll have to see how it goes. He also plays the outfield. He went 3 for 4 last weekend, so he's starting to swing the bat again. So all good. We playing a tournament this weekend, but today's only Thursday, so we still got a day and a half to go, or 2 days. So great to have everybody with us. And hey, it's my pleasure to have somebody with us right now. The big winner on Saturday. I mean, Barbara Comstock annihilated the field in this firehouse primary in the 10th district, garnering over 50%, almost 55% of the vote among 6 candidates. A big victory, and she is going to be facing off with presumptive Democratic nominee John Faust, the supervisor from Fairfax County, in November to determine who is going to be the congressman to replace Frank Wolf in the 10th district in Northern Virginia. Now, that is a district that goes from Loudoun County, Fairfax, all the way to the West Virginia border. So it's a big spot through Winchester and everything else. Joining us now, Barbara Comstock. Barbara, great to have you with us. Great win on Saturday.
Good morning. Great to be with you. Thank you. It was. We're excited about this opportunity to follow in the footsteps of my first boss on Capitol Hill, my old boss, my first paying boss, Congressman Wolf. And, I've lived here in this community since 1981, so it really is a privilege to be able to run for this office. I realize what big shoes I have to fill, but it is, we look forward to the months ahead. We've been traveling all over the district already, and we are going to be doing that, all summer and all fall, and This week we were out yesterday in Winchester. It's the Apple Blossom Festival, so one of the many wonderful things in this district. So we are very much hoping for good weather. It was raining yesterday with kickoff luncheon, and by Saturday for the parade, we hope for good weather.
The depth of your primary victory on Saturday, Barbara, was very significant. You got nearly 55% in a 6-candidate field. You were attacked by at least one rival unmercifully, and you got your people out. I don't think there was a lot of pundits that saw you getting over 50%. The extent of that victory showed me that you had a grassroots organization that I think was underestimated. Is that assessment accurate?
Well, I think so, probably, but that's how we've always worked, is really having a grassroots operation and trying to bring everybody together. And that's how I've won my 3 elections as delegate. And as Frank Wolf told me years ago, and actually many good colleagues that I have, is when you really work at the grassroots level, you go out and meet with everyone, you knock on those doors, you bring people together, it helps you be better as a person who's governing. And I found that to be true in the House of Delegates, and I feel like, when you're a candidate and you have to go out and you talk to everyone, not just to people who may agree with you on everything, but you really reach out and go around the district, learn the district well, understand, what is a very diverse district in our area. As you mentioned, it actually goes from Prince William and Manassas Park, Manassas City, down in Prince William, down 95. Then it comes up into Fairfax and has 2 different parts of Fairfax. It's down in Clifton, Centerville area, down there. Then it comes around over to McLean, Great Falls, parts of Vienna. So I'm right around Tyson's Corner. We have Wolf Trap. Then you head all out Route 7 all the way to Winchester, and you get into wonderful rural areas. We have wineries. We have the tech corridor. We have, obviously, government employees, defense contractors. I mean, it's an incredibly diverse district, both in its industries and its business, as well as its people. It's probably one of the most diverse ethnically, in the country, and that's exciting because it gives you this. We have the Korean Bell Guard in my district, and that's a great community that we work with, whether it's Korean medical community or Korean Women's Chamber. So you just have all kinds of great folks to work with here. And so every day, what I love about it is you get to go around and you meet all kinds of people, and it's that diversity that brings a richness to this area.
Barbara, what did you think of the new revelations on Benghazi yesterday, these emails released by a watchdog organization, Judicial Watch? Basically now, it's pretty clear that the administration was manipulating information to get back to the American people on what happened about Benghazi. When you read those yesterday, what was your reaction to that?
Well, gosh, it really brought me back to 2012 when that happened, because that certainly was the feeling of what was going on at that point, instinctively, what you thought this administration was doing, but it's still disappointing when you actually see it. And I certainly, I've said throughout this campaign, I will carry on where Congressman Wolf has led on this. And I previously, when I was on Capitol Hill in the 90s, I served as chief counsel on the House Government Reform Committee. And we had similar investigations where we were just blocked at every turn. We had people take the Fifth Amendment. We had the administration refuse to turn over documents. And you just have to really go at it. We wrote contempt reports. We insisted on getting documents. And then finally, we were able to break open these cases. And I think really, when you look at, and again, that goes to the people who live in the 10th District. We have government employees, with the State Department, CIA, Defense Department, who go all around the world and defend our country. And they have to know that we've got their back. And Congressman Wolf always has, and some of the first investigations I worked on in the 90s were whistleblowers, essentially, federal employees who had been, not treated right. And we went on it to protect them, and I think that's what Congressman Wolf has, again, been doing in this Benghazi matter, but it also goes to the whole issue of our foreign policy and the weakness that this president displays abroad. And you see this every day. There's not a country around the world that thinks more highly of us today than they did when Barack Obama walked in. And that's sad and that's dangerous, and I think this Benghazi situation is part of it. So I'm very committed to continuing this investigation. Jason Chaffetz and Trey Gowdy, who have worked on this, are friends. I've talked with them about it, and I certainly do think we need to have a special committee. I agree with Congressman Wolf, and I think with a new Congress, that will be something that we have to, very much push for.
Common Sense News Time, 8:48. This is the John Fredericks Radio Show, Washington, D.C. and across Virginia. We're with Republican nominee for the 10th Congressional District, Barbara Comstock. She's going to face off with Democrat John Faust in November to replace Frank Wolf. Congresswoman Comstock, got to go to word from our sponsors. Did I say Congresswoman Comstock? Delegate Comstock. That's a Freudian slip right there. Obviously, I think you're going to win. I can't believe I said that on the air. Delegate Comstock. Congresswoman Comstock, get accustomed to it. 8:49. I got to go to word from our sponsors and recover from that. Hang on.
Hargrave Military Academy in Chatham, Virginia, America's premier boys military boarding school, hosts its 2014 summer school and camp June 29th to July 27th. This is an exceptional opportunity for your son to engage his education in an involved, focused, and stimulating environment. Both enrichment and repeat academic classes are paired with full afternoons of sports camps or a hands-on adventure camp. Hargrave runs 4 full weeks with active weekends for all students. Join Hargrave for an open house on Saturday, May 3rd at 12:30 p.m. Visit Hargrave's scenic campus and talk one-on-one with instructors on a relaxed setting. The camp starts June 29th. Call 800-432-2480 or learn more at hargrave.edu.
He's an honest broker of the truth. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready for more of the John Fredericks Morning Show.
8:51. Great to have you with us here on the John Fredericks Show. We're with Delegate Barbara Comstock, the candidate for Congress in the 10th District to replace Frank Wolf. She'll be squaring off with presumptive Democratic nominee John Faust in November. Now, Delegate Comstock, let me ask you this. New results just out. Gross domestic product and growing by an anemic 0.01%. Now, there's other reports saying that the United States is about to fall behind China as the #1 economy in the world. Now, China, I've been saying this for 2 days. China's a communist regime with a communist economy. How could we be falling behind a communist economy on the global stage? What's going on?
Well, this administration, this president is just crushing the economy, and that's what our campaign has been all about, is to get people back to work, to, repeal and replace Obamacare, one of the major problems that's hindering a true economic recovery, and then just, lowering taxes, bringing industries that have left the country back here so that we can really just have a reinvigorated economy and get things moving again. Yesterday, I mentioned I was out in Winchester for the Apple Blossom Festival, and one of our great entrepreneurs here in Virginia, Sheila Johnson, was talking about her concern about the economy going forward. I mean, she was talking about, she was talking about her entrepreneurial efforts in Virginia and a lot of great things she's done in her Salamander resort that has brought a lot of economic benefit to the area. So that was wonderful, and she was able to talk about that. But she also, in the bigger picture, talked about concern down the road about having really tough economic times. And when you hear somebody who's such a great entrepreneur talk about that and be fearful, we realize we have to turn this around, because we have to make sure that the Sheila Johnsons and all the tech entrepreneurs here in Virginia, and all the entrepreneurs around the country, know that we are open for business. That Virginia's open for business, and that's what I've been focused on for 5 years, making Virginia #1 for jobs, keeping it. But I want this country to be #1 for jobs. And this president just doesn't have that as a priority. And I think it's very much connected to his, the posture internationally too. I mean, it's something like energy that Virginia has really tried to lead on. That's something where this president has just crushed that economy, whether it's, capping trade that he's pushing or killing our coal industry or refusing to let us have offshore drilling, which would bring all kinds of high-paying jobs to Virginia and give us money for transportation, because that's part of the legislation that we put in is, that money from, offshore drilling would go towards transportation without raising taxes. And it would give us a great posture internationally to once again have a strong energy economy so that we can't have Putin and Russia or Iran use energy as leverage against us. And so we've got to get thinking strategically both for a strong and prosperous America here at home and, for our posture abroad. And this president just is not making it happen. And we're just seeing it every day with this. It doesn't have to be this way. This is not the new normal, and it shouldn't be the new normal. And with a stronger Republican House and a Republican Senate, we will be able to turn it around and get back on the path so entrepreneurs like Sheila Johnson and so many of the entrepreneurs we have in the 10th District can get people back to work and get this economy moving.
What did you think, Delegate Comstock, of Attorney General Mark Herring's move yesterday on Dreamers and allowing them to qualify for in-state tuition rates?
Well, this is the second time now he's done this. I mean, what we are deeply concerned about is, regardless of how you feel about the issue, this was an issue that came up, it actually didn't get to the floor, so it was in committees that I'm not on, but it hasn't made it to the floor. It hasn't been debated. And so for him to unilaterally rule on this, just in the same way he did earlier this year on marriage, but we're also very concerned, you look down the road, what is he going to do about Medicaid expansion? We are having, a very serious debate on that, and the governor is trying to hold up the budget on that, and we are trying to work this out on the legislative front, separate Medicaid expansion from the budget. Let us debate that separately. Let us get our budget that we've agreed on put forward without shutting down the government. And this governor, this new administration in Virginia, really just continues to, ignore the rule of law and ignore the legislature and the people's representatives. And there are other things where Mark Herring might do this. I'm very concerned about what he'll do with right-to-work laws, because he has always been a union favorite, and we have strong right-to-work laws, but since he seems to be really politicizing this office in a way that's very, very troubling, I don't know where it's going to end, but it seems to be he's more, looking at his next office instead of properly enforcing the laws and duly doing his job in his current office.
Common Sense News Time, 8:57. We're just about out of time. We're with Delegate Barbara Comstock. She is the nominee for Congress for the 10th Congressional District in Virginia. Frank Wolf, the incumbent, is retiring, and Barbara will be facing off in November with the presumptive Democratic nominee, John Faust, a supervisor from Fairfax, and should be an interesting race.
And a Nancy Pelosi favorite. She came here on her birthday to have a fundraiser for him.
and he put Supervisor Faust put a press release out congratulating your victory, and then basically called you a tool of the far right wing. So not sure that's an accurate description, but it is what it is. I'm not going to give you a chance to defend that charge, Barbara, but what I am going to do is, if people want to get more information, they want to get involved with your campaign. And by the way, that victory on Saturday was, I got to tell you, that was very impressive. You want to get involved with Comstock for Congress campaign to replace Frank Wolf. Barbara, tell people where to go, what to do.
It's BarbaraComstockForCongress.com is our website, and you can contact us through the website. And you can also see we have a lot of different coalitions, so if you'd like to be active on any of those coalitions, please contact us Also, you can get it through the website, or our phone number is on there on the contact point. So we'd love to have people involved. And we have an office in Loudon, and we'll be opening some other offices soon. So just reach out. We want to get everybody involved. We have a great, strong, broad team across the 10th District, and we want to keep adding to it every day.
When's your daughter's wedding again?
It's next Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day, 2 weeks away. Okay, going to get your daughter married and have Mother's Day all at the same time. Like in my family,
exactly. A great family gathering.
It's all the same weekend. We've got Mother's Day, my anniversary, and my 9, now soon 10-year-old's birthday, all in the same weekend. I get them all over with at one time.
That's wonderful.
That's right. Anniversary.
Anniversary.
JoJo's going to be 10. Mother's Day.
You get all those things covered on one weekend.
It's a guy's dream. Let me tell you, it's one weekend. It's all done. 8:50, and my little guy who's 9 is turning 10 that weekend. So that gets all of the attention. So it really makes it easy on me. I hit the jackpot with that one. 8:59. I'm out of time with Barbara Comstock. I got to go, and we will be back after the news. Stay with us.
Traffic looking a lot better now. No backups or delays any of the bridges or the tunnels. We have some bridge openings. Apparently the high-rise bridge couldn't wait for tomorrow.